done to the head so far is the valves and that, so now it comes time to make the valve springs. Now there's the plan for the valve springs. So they're a tapered spring, the exhaust's tighter than the inlet's an atmospheric inlet, so the low pressure area in the cylinder pulls the valve open. It doesn't actually have a push rod or a rocker doing it. Where the exhaust valve, it has a rocker that actually opens it when we need it to open. So back across here, to get that done, there's a mandrel we need to make. So we're just going to turn the mandrel up and yeah, we'll have a go at that this morning. Well, this is going to be the mandrel for bending the spring on, or forming the spring. And what we're starting with is just a little piece of 1/2 inch bright bar, and we turn it down to 3/8. Then we have a 1 inch long section with a taper that comes down to 9/64. So the whole thing's only about 1 3/4 inches long. And yeah, it's very small, so I've got the little diamond tool out again for a bit of a lap, so we'll just do a bit of machining and we'll try and get it close to spec. Okay, that wasn't a very good cut, was it? A little bit of flex out here, but to get the length we've gone that way. I might be able to pull him in just a little bit. We'll do another run, just see if that's any better. If not, we'll have to put a centre up here. That was a bit better, not so much chatter, so I think we'll be right with that. So what do we have there? 0.043. So we've got about 50 thou to come off. So the end piece here, we might drop that down to 9/64 first, just to leave the rigidity here, same as we did on the valves. And that only has to happen for 1/4 of an inch. Yep, had to go and check the plans. So 9/64 in miles an hour is 3.5 millimetres or 0.1406. So 140 there. Right, we'll do a measure. This is going to be small. $2.20, I believe. I'll just check that again. $2.18. We'll see how much I can zoom you in and still keep focus. Looking good. So 218. Zero the DRO. So if we go in 9, we should be right on 2. This is just another little thing, just trying to get it to zeros early and just going for a mark to see if we can hit it. Watching Ray from Razorworks, and we were just talking about this the other day. They're just going to hit a mark just for no real reason. Oh, look at that, boys and girls. Anyway, we're right on the money, not that you could bloody see, I could be telling you anything. Okay, so 60 thou to go. If we go into 1.406, 60 roughly. So we're going to go half of that, nice and gentle though. Actually, we might go the whole hog bugger it. what do we have? We're very bloody close. I think we might be 1 or 2 thou off our mark, but that's fine. That's good for what we're doing here. Geez, that's small, isn't it? The springs are going to be little. I know that when we get the springs wound around here, they will spring out once we do them. But anyway, we'll just I'll just check this edge, make sure it's in the right spot. Okay, that's the length of our taper right there, 1 inch long. I'll just go and do a bit of mathematics. You know that's not going to happen, I'll look it up. Back in. Well, here's a new camera angle for you. I think my little bracket's working well. Look, I went and done a heap of maths. Well, actually I just popped the figures into my iPhone app. And it tells me that the angle for the taper here should be 13.1903 degrees, and of course the compound on my lathe gives us exact 13 and a bit, so we're going to go with 13 and a bit. Now with this setup we actually need to run the lathe backwards to try and get that angle. We have enough room that when we go the full length of the cut, we have room up in here, so we're nice and safe to do that. I've got a little bit of steel there just to, the main reason's just so you have a background to look at, which I thought it was a bit hard otherwise. So I'll just start doing this. See what you reckon. that's not looking too bad. We still have to bring this section down here yet, but I'll have a little fiddle and we'll be back. Okay, Bozo has been here. Bozo lives here. I think he got a little couch in the corner. But you'll notice this mark here, this little line I put in there earlier, that's the length of the taper. And when we're down this side equal here, the taper should go right to that mark, and it should actually go past that mark because we're still at, well, we're not at 3/8 there yet. So I looked at that and I thought, oh, bloody Bozo been here, I better go and check. So my very accurate app, it does work if you put the proper information in. And you'll see this little fella here, I actually forgot to halve it, working off the centre. So instead of 13 degrees, that shows me that I should have 6.6248 degrees. And so on my very accurate lathe, I'll set it exactly to 6.6248 and a bit, or thereabouts, and we'll have another crack. I'll be back in a minute once I've got the compound set. Okay, I believe I now have the compound set correctly. I told Bozo to piss off and go and have a cup of tea, leave me alone for a bit. So, and that is one advantage of putting in little marks, little reference marks to see how you're going. So we'll gnaw away at this for a little bit. Right, that looks a bit more. Looks a little bit more to what we're expecting. So when we, I'll try and get this right out of the road for the moment. So when we come up from the end around 1.25 inches, 1.250 thereabouts. There it is there. So somewhere around there, we should be about 0.375, around 3/8 of an inch. Oh, look at that, beautiful. For that rough measurement, it was lovely. Alright, we'll set up and then we'll bring this piece here down to 3/8. I might give that a bit of a polish too, looks a bit rough, doesn't it? Okay, new camera angle, and now we're going to bring this down to 3/8 along through here. Right, we'll mic this up, see what sort of cut we had there. What do we have? 4.09. Actually 0.409. I'll put my little Sharpie mark on the 1 inch mark from the start of the taper once more. And the theory is, by the time till we get down there, it should be around 3/8 of an inch on this shank here. So, okay, we had 0.409, we need 0.375. Let's grab a few and go again. I'll try and get rid of that 9, I'll put a 4.5 on the end here. We're only a few there off. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, we'll do a few measurements. We're a little bit off the target here. I'll just check how our 1/4 inch was going here. 0.250. Okay. So that's there. Right, so it's the back end of that line. Then we come 1 inch in. Oh yeah, no, we're better than we thought. the back end of this line to the back end of that line. So look, we're pretty good. Better than we thought. My guide lines were just roughies. So I am happy with that. I'll just check how we're going here. 0.375. Can you see that? I'm getting a lot of light reflection here. I've got a very well lit workshop, but for doing this it's not that good. Okay, so look, we're going okay there. We're about a quarter of a thou too big. We might just do a tidy up cut just for shit and giggles. Well, that's our little mandrel. Might polish it a bit more there. We have to drill a little 16th hole in here, and the little 16th hole is just to give the wire something to grab onto. So I may do that off camera, then we might come back and try and make a spring. Okay, the idea is we just got to pop a little hole through just to grab the wire. I'm going to do that by hand. Pretty close onto centre, and try and get it fairly true all around. The reason we're doing this is I just don't want to take it out of the truck. I just like to leave it there, so instead of going over to the mill to do this, I just hand do it. That's just lovely. Little polish and should be good. There you go. So the idea is you poke the wire in here, and then you turn this by hand and you slowly wind the wire down here. So that's it for making the mandrel. We'll the next episode we'll be doing the spring, or trying to make a few springs.